artwork that is converted to what's called a live paint group can be very easily colorized using the live paint bucket tool, which is hidden underneath the shape builder tool. There it is. Now, before we can do anything with that tool, we need to first of all convert our artwork into a live paint group. There's different ways of doing that. We can select all of the artwork and use the live paint bucket tool and click on it to do that, or we can go to the object menu, choose live paint and make, and this turns this artwork into a special group called a live paint group. I can now use the live paint bucket to fill this artwork with colors. Let me zoom into just this artwork so we can see things close up. So we've got some problems here. First of all, if I hide the edges temporarily by pressing Command H, we will see that there are some gaps near the cloud right there, and also here on the island. And for some reason, the live paint bucket tool doesn't quite pick that up right. Why is that? Well, the tool has the ability to apply automatic gap detection. Under the object menu, you might have noticed it when we actually converted this artwork into a live paint group, there is a gap options setting. If I enable this option, I have the ability to get the tool to automatically detect gaps of a certain size and pretend that these shapes are closed paths. So when we're filling this in, it automatically appears, and we can already see which gaps it's currently picking up with the medium setting. All these little ones here and down there are picked up. The larger one up here is not yet picked up, so we might need to turn this into larger gap. Not yet picked up, but let's just see how this works currently. You can enter custom gap settings as well. Might leave it on medium for now and click OK, and let's see how we go. So the tool now is much better at picking up different areas. But how do we drop color into objects? Well, first of all, with this tool, the active point is the little black triangle that you see. I find it easier to hit the caps lock key on the keyboard and turn our tool into a precision cursor so I can really target the objects that I want to fill in. Now currently the cursor displays a tiny little set of swatches above it that it's picked up from the swatches panel. It's that first set of swatches with a none, the registration and the white color. But I can change this tool to pick up colors from a color group or swatch group or other swatches that we have available in our swatches panel. If I hit the arrow down on the keyboard, the tool will automatically jump to the next swatch group, and I can now start to use my left and right arrow keys to navigate my way through these swatches and apply them to the various areas in this document. So let's have a look at applying a fill color to the sky. We'll just go to the next swatch, fill color to the ocean, and we'll go back a few and we'll apply some sand color right here. Now what else can we do? Instead of clicking individual areas that are detected by the live paint bucket, we can also click and drag across multiple areas. So let me navigate to the tree trunk colors, and we can click and drag across multiple areas like so. Now I'm just going to display the hidden edges again by pressing Command or Control H, so we can see all of that again. There is an additional tool associated with Live Paint, and that's the Live Paint selection tool. With that, we can select alternate areas and then fill them in one hit. to use the live paint bucket to colorize strokes, we need to shift the behavior to something else. And to do that, we hold down the shift key on the keyboard. So when doing that, I can actually cover the strokes. And by default, I've got the color none selected. So selecting and clicking on these strokes, I can now disable those. Or if I wanted to, I can change the color of those by once again pressing the shift key, arrow down to navigate to the swatch group and picking another color to apply to these strokes. So it's a great tool to use for colorizing either artwork that's been converted to outlines using image trace or cartoons that you might have scanned in and converted or hand drawn in Illustrator.